At you. Oh, you are. Oh, you're excited. Shadow's really excited because we're going to do what we love to do, camping. And we're going to be doing camping for why? If I told you astrophotography, that would be true. If I told you rockhounding, that would be true. Because we're going to do something really unique. We're going to go rockhounding in space. And to do that, we want to get high up in the mountains, away from city lights, high elevation, so that we can go after the elusive fundamental element of fluorite, which is fluorine. A couple of videos ago, you saw us rockhounding for fluorite up in the Wawa Mountains on Joe's claim. We found beautiful pieces of fluorite, and now we're going to go looking for what it is that makes fluorite fluoresce, and that's called fluorine. And we find fluorine in its fundamental singular state, not bonded to something else, in only one place, way up in the cosmos. Come along. If you love rockhounding, you're going to learn something. If you're into astrophotography, you're going to learn something. We're going to discover the true source of fluorine. Little buddy, we are set up. I'm camping with my friend Richard, and we've camped together before. You may have seen him in some other videos. And this area is fantastic for rockhounding. Jaspers, yellow jaspers, red jaspers, brown jaspers, black jaspers, all colors of jasper, and beautiful quality jasper as well. And before we set all up for astrophotography and go into the subject of fluorine, we're going to just do a little bit of rockhounding around here. This is what I mean by the colors. This is a dark, oh, I mean, it's not black, and it's not brown, and it's not purple, but it's kind of like in that family. Dark, deep purple, brown. It's beautiful, beautiful agate. Jasper. Jasper because it's not translucent or transparent, it's opaque. You know, it is February 5th, and it is absolutely beautiful out here. Here's another jasper. The jasper quality up here is outstanding. And you can find, I have found very big pieces before, and it's not highly fractured like it often is in other places. It's really great quality jasper. That's got a lot going on in it there. The reds are from iron, the black is from carbon. There's some clear, and that's really a jasper agate mix is what that is. Both jaspers and agates are a form of chalcedony microcrystalline quartz, silicon dioxide or silica, and then agates, they are translucent or transparent, and then jaspers have more impurities mixed in with them, and so they're opaque. And that's a real basic definition. It's a lot more complex than that, but that will do for now. So we've made our way up to the top of the hill, and I always have better luck at the top of the hills because the water and weather and the winds have washed away the dirt, and the rocks are left exposed, and there's just a ton of agate up here. And the reason why this is an agate-rich area is because of that right out there. Do you see that volcano? That's just one of many cinder cones around this area. This was a very volcanically active. Is that a word, volcanically? Very active volcanic zone in the past, and these agates are formed in the cracks and crevices and pockets of volcanic rock. Look at this one right here. Jaspers and agates. That's just beautiful. Okay, now this one looks really promising. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's like every color in the rainbow in that thing. That is really beautiful. Such a variety in the colors, right? That's because these are very mineral-rich mountains. There are mines all around here that have pulled everything from copper, silver, gold, iron, uranium, a lot of other things have been pulled out of these mountains. They're very mineral-rich. And those minerals are what give this jasper so many beautiful colors. It's beautiful stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous stuff. Super shiny and waxy. They'll polish and tumble beautifully. Okay, so you've seen all the different colors, and then we come to this lighter colored, creamy, whitish. I mean, it's such a variety. Such a variety. Anywhere up here. Rockhounding anywhere up here, you can't go wrong. Some spots are a little richer than others, but you just can't go wrong. Up above Gunlock Reservoir and above the city of Gunlock, the little teeny tiny city of Gunlock, Utah. Now we're starting to find the yellows and reds that I was talking about. Beautiful yellows and reds. This stuff, I've polished this stuff up. I'll show you some. It's just spectacular when you run it through the tumbler. I got quite a bucket full here. Beautiful stuff. It is beautiful stuff around here. The nice thing about deserts, you see this little wash here? So it's dry almost year round, but then when it rains, it pours and water just gushes and just, you know, torrential flows, and it uncovers new material. So you can rockhound in an area and then go back after a good rainstorm, and you can find some things that were under dirt before that have all... Well, that's a good piece right there. Another one. All right, my bucket is full. We're only about 50 minutes, 45 minutes from my home. It's a Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and I'm going to do astrophotography tonight, where we're going to learn about fluorine, and then I'll get up in the morning and drive back, and I'll be at work in the morning. So it's great that these locations are so close by. What? Okay, we're set up. We're ready to image. We just need to wait now for the sky to darken. The sun is set. There's clouds over here, but then it's very clear over here, you see? And it's forecasted to clear up, so I think all's going to be well. Cross our fingers. We're going to be imaging tonight with this beautiful astrograph. I just love this telescope. It's the Orion Maxitov Newtonian. It's a 190 millimeter aperture, 1000 millimeter focal length, making it an f5.3. It's virtually a light bucket. And we're going to pick, well, I have in mind the target we're going to go after. But before I tell you about that, we're going to sit around the fire a little bit and talk about the element fluorine. And how does that tie to rockhounding and to astrophotography? Stay tuned. Isn't that a beautiful fire? Shadow and I are sitting around it to stay warm. I'm going to talk soft because my camping companion is probably asleep in his camper. It's well after midnight. So, what does this fire and imaging the cosmos, astrophotography, and rockhounding all have in common? Well, it all boils down to that beautiful element, fluorine, represented with an F on the periodic table. Fluorine is the 13th most abundant element in the Earth's crust. It's also the most reactive of all the elements on the periodic table. It's also very toxic and deadly. So if it's so abundant, why aren't we all dying? Well, it's because we never find it in isolation in nature. It's always bonded to something, and that in turn makes it harmless. And that leads us to fluorite, that beautiful mineral that fluoresces under ultraviolet light. And why does it fluoresce? Because of fluorine. Fluorite is fluorine bonded to calcium. It's the fluorine, because it's so reactive, that causes it to react to ultraviolet light and glow. So what does fluorine and that fire have in common? Well, fluorine is produced in the intense heat, much hotter than those red coals right there. It's produced in the intense heat of stars. But, as we mentioned, it's so reactive. It doesn't like to be alone. So, fluorine has a real challenge escaping stars, because what are stars predominantly made of? Hydrogen. And hydrogen and fluorine bond very quickly to form hydrogen fluorine. So the fluorine is created in the intense heat of stars, but as it makes its way out of the star, it runs into the primary fuel of a star, hydrogen, bonds with it, and it can never escape. Then how did fluorine become part of our planet? Well, that's where it gets interesting. There are certain stars that are so massive, and when they come to the end of their life cycle, and they have burnt through all of their hydrogen, they start to burn through helium, and even the heavier elements like iron. And that's when fluorine can make its way out of the star. And then these massive stars, as they're dying, they're shrinking, and that causes tremendous heat, and that heat causes tremendous stellar winds to blow off their outer layers, like the smoke. And that allows the fluorine to get caught up in those outer layers and blown off into space. Tonight we're imaging a nebula in the Orion constellation. Betelgeuse is a star in the Orion constellation. It's one of those massive stars that's dying. It's a red supergiant. It's about to go supernova. And it's pulsating. It's blowing off its outer layers. Fluorine is escaping Betelgeuse and making its way out into space. The nebula that we're going after, the Great Orion Nebula, fluorine has been detected in that nebula. Now, it's a little ways from Betelgeuse, so I don't think that's where it's getting its fluorine from. But it's where fluorine will eventually make its way into a nebula like that. And that nebula is a star nursery. That's where new stars are being born. Ecoplanets are being formed around the new stars. Solar systems are coming to life. And fluorine is a part of that. And just like fluorine is a part of our Earth, and it's what gives fluorite that beautiful glow under ultraviolet light. Fluorine. It's being created in the cosmos. And we are imaging a nebula that is full of fluorine. Let's go take a look at it and see how it's coming along. Hey, little buddy. Come here, Shadow. Show everybody. Oh, you don't roll over. Come back up here. Come here, come here, come here. Show everybody your coyote vest. Keep you safe from the coyotes. All spiked up. The coyotes were howling earlier. I'm going to turn off the light. Okay, here we go. That is the Great Orion Nebula. Those streaks, an airplane went through it. I'll take care of that in post-processing. But right there, it's called the trapezium, the dead center, is where hot new stars are being born. But fluorine has been detected in this nebula. Now, Betelgeuse is a little ways away. It's actually a long ways away, but it's in Orion, and this is in Orion. There's a lot of fluorine being produced right now by Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is about to go supernova. We don't know when. It might not be a good thing for us when it does go supernova, so maybe we shouldn't ask for it to come too quickly. This is coming along beautifully. I will process this and show it to you in the morning, but now you know where fluorine comes from. It's produced in space, inside stars, and it's just in certain circumstances that it's able to escape the hydrogen belt, the fuel around the star that's the primary fuel source of the star. And when it does, that allows it to become part of planets like ours. And that's why we have fluorine, and that's why we have fluorite.